Hi guys, it's Paula and I hope you are doing well. This is going to be my monthly update for Project 10 uses. In this project, I work on 10 items and I need to use them 10 times before I can roll them out and I can roll something new in. On average, I usually meet my goal on the 10 uses for like 1 or 2 products a month, and the rest usually roll over for another month or two. But this month I have met my goal on 4 items. So it's a big month for me. Part of that is due to the fact that I'm filming this a little bit late. Today is actually the 12th of June and I normally have this up on the 7th. So I had 5 extra days to get some uses in on these products and I did. So let's see where we're at. First of all, let's go over the products I hit the 10 use goal on. I really enjoyed all of these products very much. And some of them I hit the goal on like right after last month's update, so I kind of forgot about them. But first of all, I have this tinted lip balm from It Cosmetics in Je ne sais quoi. There's still just a ton of product in here. It's basically brand new. It's not really that tinted. I don't want to suggest this has a lot of color to it because really it doesn't. It's just basically a lip balm. It has a nice packaging with a magnetic closure. My only complaint is that I have to hold it up here to keep it from rolling back down as I'm applying it. But I enjoyed the product very much. I ended up using this probably 11 times or 12 times even. I mean, it's a lip balm, so it's a pretty easy product to use. But prior to putting it into this project, I hadn't used it at all. It was brand new. So I'm really glad to have at least used it 10 times now. I also used this highlighter from Physicians Formula 10 times. Actually, I've used this 12 times. I really enjoyed it. Unfortunately, it's kind of dried out and I still see videos of people talking about this product. So I don't know why it dried out on me, but it's definitely dry. And the way I've been using it is scraping the product off into like a dry powder, and then I spritz my brush with some setting spray and apply it like damp like that, and it still works great like that. Unfortunately, it doesn't just apply. There's just a little bit of powder like picking up on my finger, but really it should be way more than that. It should be like blinding, and then it doesn't really transfer onto my hand. So the reason I got 12 uses is because after I scraped the powder up last time, there was more than enough product and I didn't want to just leave the loose powder sitting in here. I wanted to use it up, knowing that this would be going back into a drawer for who knows how long. So it took 2 extra uses to get that dry powder up. One of my goals when I rolled this into this project was to use some of these bronzier shades down here as an eyeshadow, and I did do that as well. I used this shade, this like little rectangle down here, as an all over eyeshadow one day. It was beautiful. It looked lovely. It makes a great eyeshadow. I know I should probably declutter this. I could probably even purchase a new one. Physicians Formula might still be selling these. I have no idea, but I can't. You guys know me well enough by now to know that I can't throw this away, and I don't know why I can't, but for now, it's going back into my office. Maybe I will find a project to put it in. Maybe I will scrape the whole thing out and put it in a separate container like a loose powder. I don't know, but this isn't going into the garbage at any time soon. I do have another one of these in a different shade. This shade is called Warm Nude. I'm not sure what the other one is called. I want to say it's called Natural Nude. I really should pull that out and test that to see if it's dried out as well. Or hopefully it's still good. I don't know. I really need to do that, but I'm not bringing it into this project for this month. So we'll have to wait and see on that. The next item that I hit the 10 use mark is one of the eyeshadows from this Dose of Colors and Desi and Katie collaboration quad. I hit the 10 use on Turboson. This one down here, I found a way to make this work for me. Originally, when I first started trying to use this, I felt like it was a little too smoky for an everyday look. I mean, just to go to work at a school, this is pretty smoky. And I ended up layering another eyeshadow on top of it and putting some really pretty warm shades in my crease, and I loved it. I loved it so much. I did use Duraline with this almost every time at the end, which is why it kind of has a dip in it. but it worked so much better with the Duraline than without it. So that's what I started doing. I am still working on this shade right here. This is Harpoon, and I'm still at 4. Yep, I'm still at 4 uses for Harpoon, so I still have 6 more to go, but I've hit the 10 use mark on this one, and this one, and I'm so glad I put this quad into this project. I know it's taking me a long time to get through it, but I am really happy to be familiarizing myself with these shadows and getting to know them better. I had to have this quad. Obviously, I bought it when it was released, and it basically sat untouched in my drawers for years and years. So I'm so happy to finally be using it and finding different ways to make this quad work. I still think I like this shade the best, this bronzy shade. I just love bronzy eyeshadows so much. This shade is pretty, but it's a little bit too dark for me to be using as like an inner corner highlight or a brow bone highlight. It's just a little bit too golden for my skin tone, but it is beautiful. And I've had a lot of fun with Turboson this past month now that I finally layered a lighter shade on top of it. So I hit the 10 use mark on that, and Harpoon is rolling over for another month, and I need to get 6 uses on it. The last product that I hit the 10 use mark on is this blush palette that I rolled in just last month. I used it 10 times within the last month. I am so glad I rolled this blush palette into this project last month. I had so much fun playing with these products that have been sitting, collecting dust, collecting cobwebs, as Emily would say. And I discovered some things that most people with eyes probably already knew. But yeah, I don't know why I didn't know this, but this is not a blush. This is a highlighter. And this is not a blush, it's a bronzer. So I need to update my categories for my inventory for next year, because these are not blushes. This is definitely a highlighter. It's an old Clinique shadow that I depotted, and I don't know what brand this is or where it came from. I don't remember anymore, but it is definitely way too pigmented to use as a blush. I tried. It wasn't a good look. It's more of a bronzer, and it's more of a summertime bronzer for me and my skin tone. But the rest of these worked great as blushes. I used all of them at least once, and I had a lot of fun playing with these blushes. This is another Clinique blush right here that I depotted, and it's a little bit pigmented too. I have to be careful with that. This half of this Fox in a Box, this like neutral shade, was gorgeous. It might have been, using this shade on its own without anything else, without letting any of this orange in it, was probably my favorite blush out of the whole bunch. I really loved it. But yeah, I'm really glad I pulled this into this project, and I enjoyed working on this very, very much. I will be updating my inventory to reflect the change. The bad news is my depotted blush count and my depotted highlighter count will be going up. The good news is my depotted blush count will be going down. So that was a lot of fun. Let's run through the rest of the products that are rolling over for another month. I already talked about that one shadow from the Dose of Colors quad. Next, I have my Too Faced Gingerbread Spice palette. I am trying to use the shade Oh Snap 10 times, and I have 7 uses on that one. One of my all-time favorite eyeshadows. I love these kind of colors so much. Love them. Love them, love them, love them. And the eyeshadow that I tend to wear with that Oh Snap shade is this Oil Slick from Butter London's Glaze and Eyegloss collection. And I'm at 7 uses with this as well. Next, I have my Milani Shadow Eyes. Oh, I remembered that. I almost said that. Next, I have my Milani Shadow Eyes in the shade Royal Purple. Sadly, I'm still only at 1 use with this stick. I just haven't been reaching for it. There is a look that I'm really interested in doing, and I just haven't been doing it. But I do look forward to getting this used a little bit more consistently. It just hasn't happened yet. Next is my ColourPop Lippy Sticks in Marmalade, and this is a gorgeous shade. I love this shade so much. It's very rosy. It's a very rosy shade, and it's really not like anything else I'm currently working on. Everything else I'm currently working on is very, very pink or very, very nude, but I don't have a lot going on like this rosy shade. So I really enjoy it, but I'm still at 6 uses for this, so 4 more to go. And the last product I'm rolling over is this lip gloss from Bare Minerals in Stargazer, and boy is this lovely. I'm at 4 uses for this. This is a lovely product. I've really been enjoying it. I'm pretty sure it was brand new when I rolled it into this project last month. And over the past month, I have been trying to remember how this product came into my life, and I don't recall. I don't know if it was like inside of an Ipsy bag or a gift with purchase. I just find it really hard to believe that I actually bought this. It doesn't sound like something I would do, but maybe I did. I don't know, but this definitely has a bit of a sweet mint scent to it, which is lovely. It is a thicker gloss. It's kind of like the MAC lip glosses. It's thicker. It's not like all my hair sticks to it, but it's a thicker gloss, and it is beautiful. So I'm gonna enjoy 6 more uses out of that lip gloss. All right, now it is time to talk about what's rolling in to replace the 4 products I hit my goal on. First of all, I decided to roll in another depotted blush palette. I have like 4 or 5 of these. I have a bunch of these. And like the last one, they just don't get used up a lot in my collection lately. And even though 10 uses is just a drop in the bucket, it will feel good to get some use out of these. And so this is the one I chose for this month. There is mostly just like random old depotted blushes. And I'm starting to suspect that some of these might be more bronzers than blushes as well. The numbers are gonna really change a lot for next year's inventory. But I definitely have this Makeup Geek. Yep, this is a Makeup Geek blush in the shade Hanky Panky. This is a blush that I pressed together in this pan, made up of like 50 different broken blushes. I have a container that I keep of broken blushes. And every once in a while, when I get an empty blush pan, I repress those 50 blushes into the one pan. And this is that pan. This was originally a face powder in this pan, but once I finished it up, I filled it with blush, and I don't think I've really used it since. This is from the Deuce. This came in an Ipsy bag for sure. This is an old Tarte blush that came in a holiday kit years ago. I want to say that all of these samples are, I don't know, Avon, Mary Kay something, I'm not sure. Some of these pans are very deep. Is this Mary Kay? Is it Lancome? Maybe that's Lancome. I have no idea. I don't know what they are anymore. I've had them for so long. This like flaming red blush is from a palette that was possibly my second palette ever. Like, I've had this probably since I was 14 years old, forever. This was a weird little no-name palette that I got. I want to say I won it from doing sales, like a fundraiser. I won it from a fundraiser, like one of those ones where you go door to door selling popcorn or wrapping paper or whatever else your school makes you do for band. I think I did one of those fundraisers and I won this makeup palette from that fundraiser, and it had like 10 or 12 eyeshadows and 2 blushes, and this is one of those blushes, and I still have it, and it looks brand new. It has these little waves pressed into the powder, and they look like they've never been touched even once. So I'm really excited to play around with some of these shadows. These kind of all look the same. Like, I might just take my blush and swirl it around the whole thing. But yeah, this is what I'm rolling in for product number 1 to replace the old blush palette I hit the 10 use mark on. It's not quite as interesting as the last one, but I'm hoping to learn something about these products. Okay, product number 2 that I'm rolling in is kind of a boring product, but I think I need to have this on hand for now. This is an old powder. It's in an old CoverGirl container, but I used the CoverGirl powder up a long time ago, and I believe what I have in here is an e.l.f. mineral foundation powder. It is very light. It is too light. And so what I discovered today was that if I mix this with the foundation powder that I have in my Let's Get Loose project, it creates a very wearable powder, which is what I'm wearing today. I'm wearing this in combination with the foundation powder in that project, which is from Elizabeth Arden, and I feel like it's a good match. But if I wear this on its own, it's too light, and if I wear that on its own, it's too dark. Eventually, I might just combine the two into this, you know, compact or whatever this is called, this packaging, and call it a day. But for now, I just want to mix the two as I'm trying to get some use out of that Elizabeth Arden foundation that's in that project. Does that make sense? I hope I'm making sense. Okay, item number 3. The next item I'm rolling in is ColourPop Ritz. I'm so excited. During my low buy update for the month of May, I decided to roll this in. This is a product that was gifted to me by a subscriber. This subscriber sent a buttload of makeup to me, and I gave some away to Jamie, and the rest has just been kind of sitting in my office staring at me every time I walk in. But this Super Shock Shadow in particular was one that had been calling my name. It was on my wish list even before she sent me this product, and so once I saw it, I knew it was fate. So I rolled this into my inventory after my low buy update last month, and I thought I have got to use it. So this is just I have finally taken a picture of this so I can swatch it for you guys, but it is just the most gorgeous, like champagne-y gold. It is the Ultra Glitter formula. Yes, Ultra Glitter. Wow, it's been a long time since I've felt a nice, fresh, squishy Super Shock Shadow. Most of mine are just dried up. But yeah, it's just a beautiful like glitter topper with a base that's basically my skin tone. And I'm really excited to play with this and use this in combination with my Pan That palette maybe. And the final item that I'm rolling into this project came from my spring Shop My Stash. Spring is winding down, summer is almost here, and I knew I had to pull some products from my spring Shop My Stash if I wanted to use them before I put them away, because it's almost time for my summer Shop My Stash already. So I decided to roll in my Revlon HD Sand lipstick. I bought this because of Emily Noel, and I've had it for quite a while, and I haven't really used it. I did use it once in like a get ready with me throughout the spring, but that's about it. It has a beautiful kind of fruity, florally scent. Fruity. Yeah. And when I tried it on in the get ready with me video, I didn't think this did a whole lot for me, but I bought it and I have it, and I want to keep working on it and enjoying it and using it. So I'm rolling this in to use 10 more times to hopefully really get to know this product much better. That is everything, you guys. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to be rolling 4 new products into this project and getting some use out of them and enjoying them. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.